Welcome friends, today we are going to discuss and tear apart the latest developer blog from Crusader Kings 3 to try and get all the juicy details and read the tea leaves. And stay tuned to the end as there are some serious consequences to your leader from these changes. In the developer blog they discuss changes to the court system. These changes will come in a free content patch released alongside the expansion. If you are new to Paradox games, this is a common release pattern for most DLCs and expansions. They will release paid content along with a free content patch. Alright, so let's get into the developer blog. So, a part of Crusader Kings 2 was minor titles or honorary titles. Unlike your main council position, these positions had limited effect on your realm. In CK3, it looks like Paradox will improve the effects these positions have on your realm. However, they will only focus on the important positions. So while CK2 had many minor titles, CK3 will have fewer. However, it looks like the pros and cons of having a person hold this job are greater. Some of the titles that they discuss are Seneschal, Court Tutor, Master of Hunt, Master of Horse, Bodyguard, Court Jester, Court Gardener, Food Taster, and for England, Keeper of the Swans. The last title piques my interest a bit. The question that immediately comes to mind is what other cultural specific court positions are going to come to the game. I would speculate based on the last position that we may see one or more for the Norse if you have the Northern Lord DLC. For example, Boat Builder. And several may come with the Royal Court expansion. In previous development blogs for this expansion, we have seen discussions around the cultures in South Asia, Italy, Middle East, and Scotland. So we could probably speculate that we would see additional cultural jobs in the expansion for some of those regions. I personally would like to see some further depth put into the Southern Asian area of the game. What cultures would you like to see get cultural specific jobs, and what jobs? Let me know in the comments. They mention here that each position provides a specific set of bonuses, and the example they give here is powerful. The Court Tutor will increase the chances for your children to receive better education traits. This is definitely powerful, and for any long playthrough where you plan to play multiple generations, it will be important to establish your realm. This simple line also brings up some questions though. What happens to your children that aren't at your court? You would assume that this court tutor would no longer affect those children. A second question that comes up, what about the children at your court that are wards of your family? Would your court help in the education of these children? I would assume yes. However, based on the wording, it seems like it will not affect those children. Things could get quite interesting though. Other characters may find it attractive to send their kids to your court. And if they find it attractive, what are they going to give me for it? Though this isn't speculation on what is to come, just exploring how a single minor court position could spawn an interesting system that brings additional depth to the game. Also, if you're enjoying this video, please take a second and hit that like button. Alright, now that we picked apart a 2-sentence paragraph, let's move on. Each position will have a benefit to your realm. The example they show here is Seneschal. They will help out increasing your realm's monthly control. They are also adding a job aptitude range to the titles. Your characters will fall into 1 of 5 levels from terrible to excellent. So just because you assign someone to the job doesn't mean they're going to be good at it. The character's skills, traits, and culture will determine their aptitude. In their example, they show an excellent Seneschal that gives you 0.5 control, and they discuss how a terrible one would give you 0.1. Alright, right away I thought, alright, will this job aptitude get added to your council positions? This would be a nice improvement. As of now, transparency on a council position aptitude is not clear. You can see the outcome of their aptitude, but not why, without digging into the system. Another thought, council positions have a negative outcome for characters that have a terrible job aptitude. Will minor titles have a chance for negative outcomes? For example, what if a terrible Seneschal had a chance to give a negative county buff for doing a bad job? Based on the blog, it doesn't look like this is the case. They also mention 2 other benefits. Court positions may give you additional event options, which is a nice benefit. Also, some will increase your court grandeur, which is a system that is coming in the Royal Court expansion. So this is all great. There must be some negatives. Well, there is 2 negatives. The first is the cost. Unlike in CK2, the minor title will cost you a decent amount of gold, and you will have to make a decision on if it is worth it for you. The cost seems to be between 0.15 and 0.62 gold per month, so having every position filled would cost you a lot. Now, if you've been watching me over on Twitch, you know my realms are quite rich in both tribal and feudal. so I'm not too concerned about the cost. It just becomes a decision: do I need a seneschal when my realm is already stable? Do I need a court tutor if you only plan to play one generation on this playthrough? Some of the real concerns I see from this blog, and what may keep me from giving out a title. Some of the minor titles are considered powerful ancients. Just like you want to keep your wife and spy master happy, you'll have to keep additional courtiers happy. If you have a bad series of events happen, or quick deaths of your rulers, you may end up with a very unhappy court. Going from 2 insanely powerful members of your court to 6 or more, just from what we discussed here, could cause some serious issues. Do you really need bodyguards, a food taster, or a court physician if you can't keep them happy? With regards to a court physician, I always expected that their opinion mattered on the outcome of treatments based on experience, but never had proof. Now they can actively participate in plots against me. Not ideal. Just pass me some of that horse dewormer and vitamin C. I am really excited for the minor titles. They have the potential to add another layer of depth to the game. I would recommend that you take a look at the blog. I will put the link in the description. If you'd like to discuss the new minor titles with me, feel free to comment below or join us on Discord. And if you would like to check out another video, here is another video of how stewardship is better than martial in the tribal era for building armies. Recently we tested and confirmed on stream you can use this strategy in the feudal era. Join us on Twitch as we are always exploring new strategies. Alright, time for me to sign off. Good morning, good night, and good day, wherever you are.